Hello, everybody, and good Friday afternoon, evening, if you're watching it now, today. And if you're watching it later, of course, today is Friday, September the 8th. And thought I'd go ahead and do a game of Statis Pro Baseball, which I have not played in quite some time. So I thought I would get that back out and refamiliarize myself with it. Typically on a Friday, on Football Friday, which is the high school football Friday, the games start around here at 7 o'clock Eastern, and I get off at work at 5, so I generally have about an hour to an hour and a half to kill, so to speak, from work before I go to the games, because most times the games are, the proximity just doesn't make sense to go all the way home. So, with that in mind, I find it a good time to play these on a Friday afternoon, play different games on a Friday afternoon. And most people have left work, so the little small office I'm in is usually pretty quiet, and I get my privacy in and nobody interrupts me. So that's what I'm going for. A sidebar in this game before I start, and I don't like to get into anything political on this kind of channel. I kind of always want to keep it strictly baseball. But living in Virginia the way I do, everybody remembers or has heard of, I'm sure, the events that happened in Charlottesville a few weeks ago. And everybody has their opinions on that as far as, do you keep the statues, do you take the statues away, or whatever. But I found it ironic that the football game I'm going to would probably offend a lot of people if they were aware of it. I'm talking about the people who get offended by these statues and everything. Because the two teams involved are nicknamed Rebels and Confederates. So the football game I'm going to later is between the Douglas Freeman Rebels and my alma mater, the Lee Davis Confederates. And so that's just a little sidebar I threw in there before we get started. I just thought that was ironic, and it could be the last year that these two schools keep that name. Howdy, SMR. I think that's Steve Ryan. Welcome aboard. Glad you could join. This is the Dodgers and the Giants. This is an actual replay of the game played April 22nd, 2015 with exact lineups. The real game was won by San Fran 3-2 by scoring a run in the bottom of the ninth. But we'll see if Kershaw and Bumgarner can hold up their end of the bargain. And I also wrote down from the score sheet, or from the thing, the guys who pinch hit and who were in the pen. So I'm going to try to use these guys first when it comes to pinch hitting and bullpen guys. Try to stay as authentic as I can to the actual game itself. All right, so we'll go through the lineups. Again, Bumgarner and Kershaw are the starters. Kershaw is a 10 on his SR rating, and Bumgarner is a 12. Hello, D. Scott Howard. And again, I'm going to assume that you guys, at least that are watching this, are familiar with Statis Pro, or at least so I don't have to go through a how-to. There's been a lot of how-to videos on there already, but I really want to get the game going. Hello, D. Scott Howard. If I forgot to say that before, thank you for joining. All right, we'll go through the starting lineups as they were on April 22nd, 2015. For the Dodgers, leading off is Jimmy Rollins at short. Justin Turner is at first base today. They're giving Adrian Gonzalez the day off against the lefty. So Turner is at first base. Yasiel Puig is in right field hitting third. Howie Kendrick is in second base hitting cleanup. He's having a whale of a year for the Nationals this year. Scott Van Slyke is in left field. He hits fifth. Chris Heisey is in center. He's also with the Nationals. He is hitting sixth. Juan Uribe is batting seventh and playing third base. A.J. Ellis is catching, hitting eighth. And, of course, Clayton Kershaw is batting ninth. And I got these cards off eBay. There's a guy selling them on eBay for PDF for $10 a season. And they come with the left-right splits, or you can get them without the left-right splits. I happen to prefer the left-right splits, so that's the way I got them. And he also gives you the nice little logo, which is kind of neat. All right, now for the Giants, leading off will be Nori Aoki in left field. Matt Duffy's at second base replacing Panic because, again, he's facing a lefty. Angel Pagan is in center. He will hit third. Buster Posey is catching. He will bat cleanup. Justin Maxwell in right field hits fifth because Hunter Pence is on the DL at this point. Brandon Belt's at first base hitting sixth. Joaquin Arias is at third base, hitting 7th. Brandon Crawford's at short, batting 8th, and of course Madison Bumgarner is the pitcher, batting 9th. All right, got those lineups out of the way. We are ready to roll, or flip, as the saying goes. Hello, Juan. How are you? I'm so used to dice, I got to get used to fast action cards again. So the first, and Bumgarner, by the way, is a PB 2.7 against righties and a PB 2.8 against lefties. So we'll keep that in mind. Jimmy Rollins is a switch hitter, so Bumgarner's a 2.7 on this at bat. And the flip is a 6, so we're under Bumgarner. And we'll check Bumgarner's result, if I can get the cards to not stick. It's a 41, so we check Bumgarner on a 41 against a right-handed batter. And that is a strikeout. So Madison Bumgarner gets the K on Rollins to start the ball game, 1 away. And that'll bring up Justin Turner. And I just did it. I finished the at-bat, and I got ready to grab the dice. That's just old habits die hard sometimes. Here's Justin Turner. Number 7 is still off of Madison Bumgarner because he's 2-7 against righties. And the result's an 88. Now, normally, if the cards themselves didn't have the left-right splits, the game board would give you a hit on the left-right matchup. But since I'm using the splits, I'm eschewing that and just using the regular result. So 88 is an out. Now let's see what kind of an out. Turner is a right-handed power hitter. Right-handed power hitter is going to ground to the pitcher, but there is an asterisk, so we will check and make sure Bumgarner did not make an error. Bumgarner's error rating is a 4. But it says none. Excuse me, it says none, so Bumgarner makes the play for 2 quick outs. That'll bring up Yasiel Puig. Puig, it's an 8, so this time that's going to be under Puig's card. And the result's another 88, which again is an out. Puig is a right-handed power hitter. Right-handed power, where everybody's going to pop to second on this one. So Puig pops it up to second, and that's 3 up, 3 down. Down go the Dodgers. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. Clayton Kershaw on the mound. He is 2.8 on his PB rating against both lefties and righties. He's going to face Nori Aoki. It's a 3, so we are under Kershaw. And it's a 52, so we check Kershaw. 52 against a lefty. 52 against a lefty falls in the strikeout range, so he just rung up Nori Aoki. And there's 1 away. So we'll see if it's a pitching duel like I think it should be. Here's Matt Duffy. It's a 6. That's under Kershaw. And it's a 57, so against a right-hander, 57 for Kershaw is an out. And Duffy is right normal on his power. Right normal is a ground ball to short, but there is an asterisk, so we check Jimmy Rollins to see if he made an error. Rollins is a E2, but it's none, so Rollins made the play. And there's 2 away for Angel Pagan. Pagan, the flip's a 4, which is under Kershaw. And a 34, so a right-hander off of Kershaw, 34, is another strikeout. So Kershaw whiffs Angel Pagan, and down go the Giants in the first. After 1 complete, we are scoreless. And I hope no one is anywhere near Florida where that hurricane is. I know in Virginia we're supposed to just get a couple inches of rain, but they're saying it's not really going to do much here other than just be some rain and maybe a little bit of breeze. But people in the South, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, that area, need to be careful. We will hope they do well there. All right, here's Howie Kendrick to start off the top of the second. That's a 6 under Bumgarner, and it's a 68, so that's in the out range on Bumgarner's card. Kendrick is right normal, but everybody's going to ground to second. So ground to second, and it's a 10, but the second baseman, Duffy, only has an E rating of 3, so that will be a good play. And there's 1 away. Larry, I'm doing the same. I'm getting this game in before I go to the football game tonight. So I have about an hour to kill before I need to do that. Hello, Al, Red Sox fan. Here is the next flip for Van Slyke. It's a 5, which falls under Bumgarner. That's a 72, so a 72 is in the out range. Van Slyke, a right normal power, and that means he pops up to the catcher. So he's going to pop it up to Posey, And there's 2 down for Chris Heisey. So Bumgarner, now we got a clutch defense, but that only comes into play when somebody's on base, so we skip that. It's an 11, so that's going to be under Heisey against a lefty, and it's a 62. So Heisey against a lefty, a 62, that's actually a walk. So Heisey, that 52 to 67 is a walk, so Heisey will draw a 2-out walk. And in doing so, Bumgarner will be dropped down to an 11 on his SR rating. And Juan Uribe, the batter. Bumgarner an 8, that's under Uribe because against righties he only goes to 2.7. And Uribe's a 36 against a lefty. So 36 against a lefty, oh, just in his out range, didn't quite get it. So we'll see what kind of out it is. He's right normal. It's a ground ball to third, and that is territory of Joaquin Arias. And there is no error, so Arias made the play. And the inning's over. So we go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. And we've got Buster Posey coming to the plate against Kershaw. 5, it's under Kershaw. And an 18. So Kershaw against a righty. 18 is a base hit to right field. That will drop Kershaw by 1 to a 9. Since the hit was off the pitcher card, we do not check for an error. We just let it go. That'll bring up Justin Maxwell. He was filling in while Hunter Pence was on the DL. It's 11, so that's under Maxwell. And it's a 23, so Maxwell against a lefty. And a 23, that's a double to center field for Jason Maxwell. Posey runs he's only a D runner, so he's going to hold at third. With nobody out, there's no sense taking any chances. We'll move Kershaw down to an 8. Runners are at second and third, nobody out. Infield will play back. They need the out. So coming up is Kershaw's at bat here. It's an 8, and Kershaw's a 2-8 to everybody, so that means he will be in control. And it's a 35, so Kershaw against a lefty. And a 35, that's a strikeout. It's a much-needed strikeout for Kershaw. 1 away. That brings up Joaquin Arias. It's an 11, so we're under Arias. And it's a 38. So let's see what Arias does. 38 against a lefty. 38 is a strikeout. So Kershaw bearing down, striking out 2 in a row. And it's going to be up to Brandon Crawford. Now, first base is open. They could walk Crawford and pitch to Bumgarner. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to intentionally walk Crawford. That will load the bases, and we'll put Kershaw down to a 7. And now they'll pitch to Bumgarner. It's an 8, so we're under Kershaw. And it's an 82. That's an out. And Bumgarner is a right-handed power hitter. But he's going to pop to third. Handled over there easily by Uribe. And Kershaw pitches out of early trouble. And we go to the third, no score. And after this inning, we will shuffle the deck and flip them over. So first up is A.J. Ellis against Bumgarner. It's a 4, which is under Bumgarner, and a 46. So Bumgarner against a right-hander, a 46 is a strikeout. He just missed getting a walk, but he's going to strike out. So Bumgarner puts the K on Ellis for 1 away. Derek, I enjoyed it too. I'm a Chiefs fan, and I wouldn't say I'm a New England hater. I just really don't like them. Hate's probably a strong word, but I just really, other than maybe the Cowboys, there's not many other teams I root against more than the Patriots. And I am a Chiefs fan, so that was a double good feeling last night. Especially to see Brady sitting on the bench distraught. And I enjoyed that very much. All right, this is the at-bat for Kershaw. Kershaw's a left normal, 2-8, and then against the left-hander, Bumgarner will keep control. It's a 58. 58 against a lefty is an out, but not a strikeout. It's a left normal at bat, and that's going to be a fly to center. So Kershaw got wood on it, but not very far. 2 up, 2 down for Jimmy Rollins. It's a 3, which is under Bumgarner. And it's a 22, so this might be a hit. Bumgarner 22 against a righty is a single to right field. And again, we're not going to use the check for error because it came off the pitcher card. But Rollins does get a 2-out single. We'll move Bumgarner down to a 10. And let's see here. Justin Turner steps to the plate. And it's a 7, which is going to be under Bumgarner. And an 87. And again, that would be another lefty-righty if we were playing that. But since the cards are already designed that way, I'm just skipping that. That's an out, obviously, at an 87. That's going to be an out. He's right power. Right power is a ground ball to first. So we'll make sure Belt can field it. And the error check is none. All right, so it's a ground ball that Belt handles, and the top of the third is over. We go to the bottom of the third. It'll be the top of the order, Nori Aoki. Nori Aoki against Clayton Kershaw. 8 is under Kershaw. And it's a 71, and that's definitely high enough to be an out. Left normal is a fly ball to deep right field. So Aoki got good wood on it, but not far enough. 1 away for Matt Duffy, second baseman. 7 is Kershaw. 83, that's high enough to be in the out range. Duffy is right normal. That's a ground ball in front of the plate that A.J. Ellis is able to throw to first. It's a 2-3 put out. 2 away for Angel Pagan. It's a 5, which is under Kershaw, and a 51. So 51 against a right-handed batter is showing as a pass ball, but nobody's on base, so we'll just redo the at-bat. It's a 6, which is still under Kershaw. And it's a 45 this time. So 45 against a right-hander. 45 is a strikeout. So Pagan rung up for the second time today. Down go the Giants, 1, 2, 3. We played 3 innings, so we're going to flip the cards over and shuffle them. I'll shuffle them off camera so it doesn't get in the way of the camera. And both pitchers in really good shape. Bumgarner's got a 10 on his SR rating to still go, and Kershaw's got 7. So, and neither one is seems to be in trouble. So we start the top of the fourth, and it's going to be Yasiel Puig. Hi, Beatles. How you doing? Yasiel Puig will lead things off against Madison Bumgarner. It's a 9, so that's under Puig's card. He has control, but it's a 68, so that's kind of high. 68 for Puig against a lefty. That's going to be in the out range. He's a right-handed power hitter. And the right-handed power hitter is going to fly to left. And there's 1 away. So pitching duel as I thought it would be so far. It's a 5 on the next at-bat for Kendrick, which is under Bumgarner. It's an 86. That's high enough to be an out for sure. And Kendrick is right normal, so that's going to be a ground ball to short, but there is an asterisk. We'll check Brandon Crawford for an error. And there is none, so it's a 6-3 ground out for 2 away. And here is Scott Van Slyke. Beatles, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Statis Pro or not. I know there's videos out there on how to, but so hopefully if you're not that familiar with it, you can kind of pick it up as we play. Scott Van Slyke is the batter. It's a 7, which is under Bumgarner. And for Van Slyke, it's a 55, so Bumgarner against a righty. Bumgarner against a righty, 55, is in the out range. And Van Slyke's right normal power. Right normal power is going to ground it back to Bumgarner, but we will check for an error because of the asterisk. But there is no error, so Bumgarner makes the play. Down go the Dodgers in the fourth, 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the fourth, still no score. And Buster Posey steps to the plate against Kershaw. Again, Kershaw is a 2-8 versus lefty and righties for his PB rating. 3 means we're under Kershaw. And a 22, that's probably going to be a hit. So we'll check Kershaw against the righties, a 22. No, actually, it's a strikeout. I take it back. You have to be in the teens to get a hit off him. 22 is a strikeout. Against a lot of pitchers, 22 would have been a hit. But against Kershaw, it's a strikeout. All right. Justin Maxwell. It is a great game, Beatles, and I don't play it enough. And so when I was trying to figure out what game to play today, I said, let me pull out Statis Pro. I haven't done it in so long. I need to do it. All right, here's Maxwell. It's a 7, which is under Kershaw. It's a 38, so we'll check Kershaw 38. It's probably a strikeout again against a righty. 38 certainly is, so Kershaw rings him up. 2 down for Brandon Belt. It's a 5, so we're under Kershaw again. And it's a 55, so we'll check Kershaw against a left-hander. 55 is showing as a wild pitch, but nobody's on base, so we will redo the at-bat. So we'll check Kershaw again. This is a 9, so this time we're under Belt. And it's a 15, so Belt will get a base hit here. 15 against the lefty is a single to right. Since it's off the batter card, we will need to check for an error. There is none. But it's a base hit, 2-out single for Brandon Belt. We'll move Kershaw down to a 6. And stepping up to the plate now is Joaquin Arias. It's a 4, which is under Kershaw. And it's a 17, so that's going to be a hit. 17 against a righty is a base hit to right field. And now we have to figure out base running advancement. There are 2 outs. We'll move Kershaw down to a 5. And now we'll check base running advancement. Brandon Belt was an OBR of C. And if we want to go from first to third on a single to right, OBR C and the throwing arm of the right fielder, in this case, Puig, is a 4. So a T4 and a C is 11 through 56 normally. However, you add 20 points when there's 2 outs. So that makes 11 to 76. So they're going to go ahead and, we'll go ahead and see if it's an 11 through 76. It's a 27, so he made it. So runners are at the corners. Oops, 7th batter did that. So runners are at the corners and 2 outs for Brandon Crawford. And again, Kershaw's down to a 5, but he got out of trouble in the 3rd. See if he can do it in the 5th. 6 is under Kershaw. 41, so 41 against a lefty. 41 against a lefty is a strikeout. Kershaw did it. He struck out Crawford to get out of the jam. So we go to the 5th with no score. And that'll bring up Chris Heisey against Bumgarner. 7 is going to be under Bumgarner. And it's an 88. And like I said, that normally would be a lefty-righty base hit. But since these cards have the splits, I just go with the regular number. So 88 is an out. And he's a right-handed power hit. It's a ground ball to third. But there is an asterisk. But Arias made the play, so there's 2 away, or 1 away. 1 out for Juan Uribe. Enjoy the football game, Larry. I'm going to try to do the same myself. Hopefully my team will win. We'll find out. But Friday night, and it feels, it's like upper 60s, lower 70s, so we're starting to get to football weather just a tad. Here's Juan Uribe to 5, which is under Bumgarner. It's an 85. That's definitely in the out range. He's right normal. Right normal is a ground ball to second, but there's an asterisk, so we check. There is no error. So handled easily by Duffy. So 2 down for catcher A.J. Ellis. Mr. Moley, I agree. I've actually reached for dice in this game already so far because I'm so used to going from one rolling dice. And there's probably a way you could use this game with dice if you had a couple of 8-sided die. You could probably get away with that. But sometimes the fast action cards are a little bit of a good diversion once in a while. All right, 8 is going to be under Ellis. He's going to get control. It's 75, so it won't matter. It's an out. And ground ball to first. Belt's got it. No error on the play, so Belt makes the play. And the inning's over. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still no score. Yeah, Strat, notorious for not being the best in the world at customer service, in my opinion. And this is my opinion totally. I believe that History Maker Baseball or Play.com, Play Games, Keith is the best at customer service, but also I would give a strong second place to Joe at Payoff Pitch, and also to Pete Ventura at Replay. All 3 of those are great customer service. Can't say anything for Appa or Strat. All right, here's Bumgarner. He's going to lead off, and Bumgarner was a decent hitter. Remember, he's going to go off against Kershaw, but it's under Kershaw's card. It's a 34 against a right-handed batter. 34 is a strikeout. So Kershaw rings up Bumgarner for out number 1. That brings up Nori Aoki to 2, so we're under Kershaw. It's a 66. That's definitely high enough to be an out. Lefty normal is a ground ball to third. See if Uribe can field it, and he does, so it's a 5-3 ground out. And there's 2 away. Brings up Matt Duffy to 12, so we're definitely under Duffy. It's a 73, though, so that's not going to help. That's an out. He's right normal. Right normal is a pop-up to the catcher, A.J. Ellis. And the inning's over. So we go to the 6th. We're moving right along here. We played 6 innings in just over 20-something minutes. So not too bad. All right, here is Clayton Kershaw. He's set to lead off the top of the 6th. It's a clutch defense, so we skipped that because nobody's on base. It's a 3, so we're under Bumgarner. It's a 52, so Bumgarner against a lefty as a 52 is showing as a walk. That's his one walk on his card is a 52, and Clayton Kershaw found it. So he walks the pitcher. That's not a good sign, especially to lead off the inning. See if that comes back to bite him. So Kershaw's on. Here's Jimmy Rollins. They could bunt. Rollins, let's see, he's bunt ready. He's only a DD sacrifice, not a good bunter. So I'm going to let him swing away. 6, we're off of Bumgarner. It's a 57, and a 57 against a right-hander is in the out range. So let's check what Rollins does. He's a switch hitter, batting normal. Switch normal is a ground ball to second with an X. It's a GX4, which is a shorthand for a fielder's choice. And let's see if there's an error. There is none, so it's a fielder's choice. Kershaw is out 4-6. Rollins takes over as the runner on first. Justin Turner, the batter now. It's a 4, so we're under Bumgarner, and it's a 34. So Bumgarner against a righty, a 34 is a strikeout. So Bumgarner, with the whiff on Justin Turner, brings up Yasiel Puig. It's 11, which is under Puig. I just like saying his name. I don't know if anybody else does or not, but I just think he's got a cool name. Yasiel Puig. 73. 73 is definitely an out. And for Puig, who is a right power, that is a liner to third. And it's handled by Arias. And the top of the 6th is over. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Angel Pagan leads things off. Angel Pagan. 7. 7 is under Kershaw. 38. Kershaw against a righty. 38 is a strikeout. So Kershaw's ringing up the Ks, and he's gotten Pagan all 3 times. Pagan has the hat trick. Here's Buster Posey. That's an 8 for under Kershaw. 82, that's an out. Buster Posey's right-handed power, but everybody's going to pop to third. So Juan Uribe makes the play. 2 up, 2 down for Justin Maxwell. Justin Maxwell. It's a 4, so we're under Kershaw. To 46. Kershaw against a righty, and a 46 is in the strikeout range, so he picks up another one. And that's going to end the 6th. So just as I thought it might be, it's a pitching duel. We're going to have to shuffle the cards up now because we're through 6. And we're going to start the 7th, and both pitchers still in pretty good shape. Bumgarner especially, he's still got a 9. Kershaw still got 5, so this may come down to needing a pinch hitter, I don't know. But we're ready to start the top of the 7th as soon as I finish shuffling these cards. Top of the 7th, and Howie Kendrick is your leadoff batter against Bumgarner. It's a 9, so we're under Kendrick. Kendrick gets control. It's a 56 against a lefty. 56, he just missed a strikeout. It's in the normal out range. Right normal is a ground ball to Brandon Belt with an asterisk, and there is no error, so Brandon Belt fields it. 1 away, and that brings up Scott Van Slyke. It's a Z, so we got our first unusual play with that Z rating. So we'll go to the Z chart for the unusual or rare play. We'll flip the next random number and see what we get. We get an 11. So that's interesting on a Z chart. I don't think I've ever done an 11 before on a Z chart. So an 11, it says, let me get this on camera. On an 11, it says, catcher argues over balls and strikes and gets ejected from the game. So Buster Posey has just been kicked out for arguing balls and strikes. So that could be huge for the Giants. They will have to go to their backup catcher, and that's going to be, if I can find his card, it's going to be Andrew Susac, but I've got to find Susac's card. I know it's in here somewhere in my conglomerate of cards. So Buster Posey gets ejected on that rare play. And so now Now we're going to have Andrew Susac. He's going to take over as the catcher and bat in Posey's spot in the batting order. So Posey is gone, and Bruce Bochy is not a happy man about it, but he doesn't want to get kicked out either, so he has to kind of stay hush about it. But that's what those Z results will do for you. They'll give you those interesting, odd results, unusual results. So I have to write in the score sheet that Susac is taking over as the catcher. I need to put his ratings in as well. So Susac with his ratings, he is a CD3. He has an error rating of 2. He throws at a C, which is less than Posey. Posey was a B. So his E is a speed, so he's definitely slow, OBR of C. All right, we are ready to go after Susac gets his equipment on and gets ready to go. Scott Van Slyke back in the box, 1 out and nobody on. The flip is a 10, so we're under Van Slyke. Bumgarner throwing to a new catcher might throw him off. It's a 15. It certainly did. Van Slyke against the lefty is going to get a base hit to left field. We'll see if there's an error. There is none, but it's a base hit to left for Van Slyke. So that'll move Bumgarner down to 8. So maybe Bumgarner not comfortable with that new catcher. Gives up the hit. Here's Chris Heisey. It's a clutch defense. Now we can use it because of the fact there's a runner on base. So we got a clutch defense. Let's see who it's for. It's going to be the third baseman in this case, and that's going to be Joaquin Arias. So Joaquin Arias is a clutch defensive rating of 4. All right, so we're going to flip a random number and check the clutch defense 4 chart. So the number is a 76. So let's check the clutch defense. Get my clutch defensive chart out. On here somewhere. There we go. Clutch defense. Third baseman, which is right here. Right here. There it is. He's a 4, but it was a 76. So 76 says on the third baseman, CD4, no action, return to normal play. All right, so we're going to skip all that and just pick it up where we left off. Heisey, a 2, this time's under Bumgarner. It's a 45, so Bumgarner against a right-hander. A 45 is a strikeout, so Bumgarner back on track with a strikeout. 2 down, and that brings up Juan Uribe. Uribe, a 6 is under Bumgarner. And to 51, so Bumgarner, 51 against a right-hander is a wild pitch. So it's a wild pitch on Bumgarner. That will move Van Slyke up to second base. So he's in scoring position now. So a base hit by Uribe could break open the scoring here. Uribe, oh, this one's blank. How about that? This particular card, when I flipped, is blank, so we have to keep going. All right, it's a 5, which is under Bumgarner. And it's a 67, so that's going to be an out. Now, the matter is what kind of an out. Right normal batter is a liner to short, but it is an asterisk, so we'll check Crawford for an error. There is none. So a liner to short, and the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, and I have no ukulele, so there will be no singing. And it's probably to the benefit of everybody watching right now that there isn't any singing. So Brandon Belt's going to lead things off against Kershaw. It's 12, so we're under Brandon Belt. And the result here is a 65. 65 against a lefty is a strikeout. So Kershaw got him anyway. Even though it's on his Belt's card, Kershaw got him. Here's Joaquin Arias, third baseman. To 4, which is under Kershaw. And it's an 18, so that's probably a base hit. And it is. Base hit to right field. That'll move Kershaw down to a 4. And a 1-out single by Arias brings up Brandon Crawford. And Bumgarner is scheduled to bat next, so we could get a pinch hitter, possibly. We'll see how they want to play it. It's a flip. It's a 10, so we're under Crawford. And it's an 18, so Crawford might have done something here. An 18 against lefties is another single to right field. We will flip to see if there's an error. It's 9 to 10, but Puig's error rating is only a 1, so there will be no error, but there will be a base hit, and that will knock Kershaw down to a 3. Question is, does the runner Arias? He's a B OBR rating, so first to third with a B rating and a T4 is 11 through 62. So 11 through 62, he will make it to third base, and he does. So runners are at the corners with one out, and it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. Pinch hitter. So Bumgarner is going to be lifted, and this is why I like the National League rules. It makes you think. So Bumgarner, who would normally still be pitching, is going to come out for a pinch hitter. And the pinch hitter for the Giants, they don't have a whole lot of righties left on the bench. They're going to go with Juan Perez. So Juan Perez is going to pinch hit. Juan Perez is going to pinch hit for Bumgarner in a big spot. Runners at the corners and only one out. Runners at the corners, only one out. Perez facing Kershaw. The sevenths are under Kershaw. It's 41. 41 against a right-hander is a strikeout. So Perez fails in his pinch hitting duties. He strikes out. There's two away for Nori Aoki. The Cubs, the Bears, you were right about the poor shaking because I'm guilty of it. I feel like I'm losing randomness sometimes when I play History Maker, especially. I tend to roll the same die rolls over and over, especially 2, 3, 6, which gets on my nerves because it's a lot of walks, but that's another story for another day. All right, Nori Aoki, a 6 is under Kershaw, and it's a 68, so that's going to be an out. Left normal is a ground ball to second, but there is an asterisk, so we'll check Howie Kendrick. He made the play, and the inning is over. All right, so the Giants come up empty, and now they have to go to the bullpen. So the bullpen, they're going to go to Sergio Romo. So Sergio Romo will be on to pitch the top of the 8th. And Sergio Romo's relief rating is a 6. So Sergio Romo comes in. He's a PB 2.8 against righties, PB 2.5 against lefties. So there's a big difference there. That could come into play. And now with the righty on the mound, the Dodgers might be going to their bench to get some lefties. We will see. Right now it's A.J. Ellis, and Kershaw is scheduled to bat second. So unless Ellis gets on where Kershaw can bunt, probably a pinch hitter for him as well. Here's A.J. Ellis against Sergio Romo. It's a 6, which is on Romo. And it's a 67, so that is an out. And Ellis is right power, which is a fly ball to left. There is an asterisk, so we will check the left fielder, Aoki, make sure he fields it, which he does. So one away here in the top of the 8th. And now we'll get a pinch hitter for Kershaw. He will leave as the Dodgers need some offense. So we'll see who they can go to off their bench. And they've got lots of choices. They're going to go with, I believe, Jock Peterson. But let me take a look. It could be Ethier. Could be either or. We'll see. They're actually going to go with Andre Ethier. So Andre Ethier is the pinch hitter. He will pinch hit for Kershaw. So Kershaw, pinch hit for by Ethier. One out, nobody on. The flip, Romo, 8. That's under Ethier because Romo is only 2-5 versus lefties. And that's a 33, so Ethier against a righty, 33, that's a triple. A pinch hit triple by Andre Ethier. And that's the fact that Romo was not so good against lefties came into play right there. That triple will move Romo down to a 5. They'll have to play the infield in. They have no choice as Jimmy Rollins steps to the plate. It's a 7, so as a switch hitter batting left, he gets control, not Romo. It's a 71. That's going to be an out, though, on Rollins against a righty. And he's a switch normal. Ground ball to third with an asterisk. We'll check for an error. There is none. And now we'll go to the base running chart with a man on third. Man on third, a G5 with the infield in. So G5, infield in. Consult defensive option chart on game board. All right. Defensive option play on game board. Offense decides whether to send runner on third to home. Then defense has the option of either making the play at home or allowing the run on third to score. It's based on the runner rating and a random number. So the run rating, OBR rating, I should say, of Ethier. Let's check what the run rating of Ethier is, the OBR rating. The OBR rating of Ethier is a C. So the C says 11 to 35, he can try to score with the infield in, or he can try to stay where he is in hopes that the next batter will get a hit. So 11 to 35 is not in the good percentages, so they're going to go ahead and freeze the runner. So there'll be 2 outs. Rollins couldn't get it done. And that'll bring up Justin Turner. Derek Dodgers, the 1949 season was notorious for walks. I know I had a whole bunch of walks in History Maker, but I think if you play that game in Strat, you'll get a lot of walks as well. Just the way 49 turned out, there was a lot of walks that year. So I'll try to give History Maker a little bit of a break on that season, on that particular game. I've got to play more 49 games on History Maker just to see how they turn out. Could just be my dysfunctional rolling as well with dice. You never know. All right, here's Justin Turner. Justin Turner against Romo. It's a 9, so we're under Turner. And 77, so Turner is going to make an out. And it's a ground ball to second with an asterisk, but no error. So the pinch hit triple comes to naught for the Dodgers as they leave Andre Ethier stranded. And we'll have to go to the bullpen for the Dodgers. And we'll see who they decide to bring in. They're going to bring in, let's see, who's coming up for we got some righties coming up for the Giants, so they're going to want to go to a righty out of the pen. So let's see who the righty is going to be. I believe it's going to be Chris Hatcher. Let me find his card because he did pitch in the game, in the actual game. So I'm trying to find his card. Chris Hatcher. There he is. Almost missed him. All right, so Chris Hatcher. Chris Hatcher is your new Dodger pitcher. His relief rating is a 7, so he's going to start with a 7. And he will be on to pitch the bottom of the 8th. Chris Hatcher. So it's the bullpen game now, Hatcher and Romo. So Hatcher, his first batter faced, will be Mr. Duffy. So Matt Duffy against Hatcher. Hatcher is a PB27 on both sides, and that is a 7, so it will be under Hatcher. So 56 against a right-hander. 56 against a right-hander shows a wild pitch, so we're going to have to redo it. And we'll start again. BD is a clutch, but that's only when somebody's on base. So we'll do it again, another BD. We skip that. Try to get a regular card, and we do. It's an 8, so now we're under Duffy. That's a 63. Duffy 63 against a righty is an out. What kind of an out? It's a fly to left. So there's one away. And will anybody score a run? Here's Angel Pagan. Switch hitter. 7 is under Hatcher. That's a 55. So Hatcher 55 against a lefty is actually a walk. So Chris Hatcher walks Pagan. 1 out walk. And it would bring up Posey, but he got ejected, so we're looking at Andrew Suzak, right-hander. Clutch defense, BD, so right away Suzak's going to get challenged on his BD rating. And his BD rating here against right-handers, 11 to 25 will be a double, 26 to 36 will be a triple, 37 to 47 will be a homer, anything over 47 will be an out. So Suzak has a chance to be a hero here. It's a 41, so Suzak 41 is a home run. How do you like that? Andrew Suzak, the replacement for Posey, who got ejected. Andrew Suzak just hit a 2-run bomb off of Chris Hatcher. So he loses 1 for the hit and 2 for the runs. It is now 2-0 in favor of the Giants. As the Espo Strat, as the fans are going wild here at AT&T Park, as backup catcher Andrew Suzak just went deep. Here's Maxwell. It's a 6, which is under Hatcher. And let's see what we got here. 42. 42 against a righty is a strikeout. So Hatcher does come back to strike out Maxwell for out number 2. And that brings up Brandon Belt. Belt, a 5. That's under Hatcher. And it's a 54. So 54 against a lefty. 54 against a lefty is a walk. So he will walk Brandon Belt. 2-out walk, moves him down to a 2. And that brings up Joaquin Arias. It's an 11, so we're under Arias. It's a 56. So 11, 56 is an out. He's right normal, which is a pop to short, and the inning is over. But the Giants strike for 2 in the 8th, thanks to the backup catcher Andrew Suzak's 2-run homer. We go to the top of the 9th. It's the Giants 2 and the Dodgers nothing. And with the lead in the 9th, they will go to their closer, Santiago Casilla. So Santiago Casilla, as soon as I can find his card, will be in the game. Just have to remember where there he is. Santiago Casilla is the closer for the Giants that year. He is coming in to pitch, replacing Romo. His relief rating is a 6. And he's going to see if he can't get the save. His first player to face will be Mr. Yasiel Puig. So he's protecting a 2-0 lead as we go to the top of the 9th. Here's Puig. It's a 7. And Casilla, against righties, his PB is 2.9. Against lefties, it's only 2.6. Since Puig's a righty, we use the 2.9 factor, so the 7 puts it under Casilla's card. And we flip for Casilla's card. It's a 24, so that still might be a base hit. 24 against a righty. Nope, it's a strikeout. So Casilla puts the K on Puig for out number 1. And I'll bring up Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick, the batter. It's a 5, which is under Casilla. And a 74, and that's in the out range when you get something that high. Right normal is a ground ball to third with an asterisk, so we check for an error. There is none, so it's a 5-3 ground out as Kendrick grounds to Arias for out number 2. Scott Vance likes the schedule hitter, but they're going to call him back for a pinch hitter. He mainly played against lefties. And they're going to have Adrian Gonzalez. He's going to come on and pinch hit. So Adrian Gonzalez is going to pinch hit for Van Slyke and see if he can't spark something for the Dodgers. Adrian Gonzalez, he is up to face Casilla. 2 outs in the 9th, down 2-0. It's a 6, and that's still under Casilla because he goes PB 2-6. So this at bat is still controlled by Casilla. It's a 44 against a lefty. 44 is a strikeout, and that's the ball game. Adrian Gonzalez pinch hit but struck out. And that is your ball game. The Giants, who won the real game 3-2, win this one 2-0. As the winner is Sergio Romo. The loser is Chris Hatcher, and the save goes to Santiago Casilla. So, I hope everybody enjoyed that presentation of Statis Pro. Hello, Mike McAllister. Hope everybody enjoyed that presentation of Statis Pro. Like I said, it's a game I haven't played in a long, long time. The cards I'm playing with are not the traditional cards. These are gotten off eBay, and they have the left-right splits in them. The more traditional ones just have regular numbers on them for the total at bats, not the splits. But I kind of like these cards. I got them for $10 off eBay a couple years ago, and they've served me pretty well when I want to use them. It's a lot of manual printing and cutting, but once you get it all done, it's a nice little thing to have, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. The games delivered to his hotel whilst he was on holiday in Florida. Okay. All right. Beatles, like I said, I missed the game too. I've talked to several people about this, about the way we do our gaming and everything, and everybody agrees there's so many games and so little time. So you feel like you get an itch for a particular game, or you feel like you haven't played a game in a while for a particular team, and or a particular product. And I've been playing the snot out of History Maker Baseball, and then I got some Strat in last night, and I've played Payoff Pitch a couple times recently, and I said, you know what, I have not played Statis Pro in a long, long time, and so I'm going to do it today. And I wasn't sure what teams to pick, but I wanted to try to get a pitching duel, which I did. So I went with the Giants and Dodgers because I wanted the Kershaw versus Bumgarner matchup. So I picked the real-life lineup from April 22nd, 2015, and that was the game that was replayed. Let's see here. Espo, I'd like to hear about that 82 Strat. I've got that set. 82 is one of my favorites as well. I was 11th grade in high school in 1982, and I definitely remember that season well. I remember the final game of the regular season in the American League East, where the Brewers beat the Orioles and to reach the playoffs. That was a game to see who got in the playoffs. And so, yeah, Espo, I'd be curious. Definitely, I don't know if you do a video on it or not, but I'd definitely like to, hear about it, because 82 is certainly one of my favorites to do. Let's see here. It's 6:08. My football game's at 7 o'clock, and it takes me about 25 minutes or so to get where I'm going. So probably need to think about moseying on out so I can get to the game. And in case anybody is late coming, I don't know what I did with it, but I thought I had it with me. Apparently not. Oh, yeah, here it is. In case anybody is late coming, Mike, the Giants won the game 2-0 on an Andrew Suzak 2-run homer. He actually was in the game because Buster Posey got ejected on an unusual play. And then, of course, Suzak, his replacement, hits the home run. So anyway, for those that came in real late, I'm in Virginia, and if anybody's watched the news in any way, shape, or form recently, you know about what happened in Charlottesville and some of those protests and things like that. And there's big debates over statues and things like that. And I really shy away from politics on this channel. I just want to stick to baseball. But the game I'm going to might be a last of its kind, so to speak, because this would be the all-offensive game. For somebody who gets offended by anything Civil War related, this would be the all-offensive game. Because the game I'm going to pits the Douglas Freeman Rebels against my alma mater, Lee Davis Confederates. So we got the Rebels against the Confederates. Both schools are have inklings of changing their school names, which I hope they don't do. But this could be the last of its kind. So I thought it was kind of ironic that that's the particular game I'm going to. But we'll see what happens. I want to thank everybody for chiming in and following along. And I need to play payoff pitch more. I need to play payoff pitch too, but I need to play Status Pro more often as well. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes in that. It's been a while since I played it, so I'm hoping I played it correctly. Beatles, you all take care as well. Anybody that's even close to Florida or Georgia, please take care and do what they tell you as far as getting to safety. And other than that, I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. I don't know how the weather's going to be around where you are, but the weather here is supposed to be wonderful. Low 70s, low humidity. So good night for football. It's supposed to be, I believe it's going to be in the low 60s by the time the game gets going. And this is the version of the Status Pro that I have, the great teams. So you get a lot of basic teams that came with that in the basic set. But this one I just happened to use the 2015 that came with the splits. So does the band at the game play Dixie? No, they do not play Dixie, but back in the old days when I was in school, or before I was in school, back in the 70s, they used to have somebody on a horse that rode around with a Confederate flag, and obviously that would not go anywhere these days. They do have a horse on carrying a flag, but it's an American flag now, which still, can sometimes be offensive to some people, unfortunately. But no, they don't do that now. They just do an American flag. And like I said, the people that in the schools are not the ones making the issue of it. It's other people on the outside, which is even worse. So some people have nothing better to do than look around to be offended. But like I said, I'm going to stay away from politics or commentary, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to go enjoy the game and not care about that kind of stuff. But I hope everybody does have a safe weekend and enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play. Espo, if you do something with the 82, I'd definitely like to read about it or see it on a video or whatever, because my next strat project is I'm debating between 67 and 82 because they're two of my favorite seasons, and it's like, which one do I do? I like them both. So I may do one cards and dice and one computer. I don't know, but I'll think of something. Thank you to Cubs to Bears. We'll see. They've been down the dumps for so many years. They finally started having a good team a couple of years ago, and they've been in the playoffs for the last couple of years. Went from 2-8 in 2014 to 8-2 in 2015 and 8-2 in 2016. So their tradition is coming back, but you never know. Sometimes it depends on the opponent. And I think this should be a fairly evenly matched game, if I'm not mistaken. But you never know. I mean, when you're dealing with high school players, anything is liable to happen. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in and giving me an audience to play to and talk to while I'm playing to make it more enjoyable. And I hope you all are safe doing whatever you choose to do this weekend. Roll some games, flip some games, whatever your choice is. And as usual, I'm off to the football game, so I will see you guys and take care, and I will see you down the road.